Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Here we are on our first leg of our road trip. Decided a while ago, before we even had the vehicle, that we wanted to do a little bit of a road trip. We're going to go visit a couple of places that we follow. One of the first places that we thought about visiting was down in southern Utah. We're going to go down and hopefully get to meet Matt's off-road recovery folks. We follow their channel. We'll post that in below as a link to them. They're a really cool group of folks that do off-road recovery down in Sand Hollow Park as well as Zion National Park. They do some really cool off-road recovery down there, and he uses a Jeep XJ, which is basically, I think, a Jeep Cherokee from the late 90s that he uses down there. And we just are really impressed with what they do and how they help people down there. So that was the first thing that we were thinking about doing, and on the way, I decided that we were going to also try to stop in and see Diesel Brothers in Woods Cross, Utah. I don't know if we're actually going to meet any of the guys, but this being a diesel gladiator with kind of a theme to the magnetic armor, a patriotic theme, we hope I can get their attention and have them come out and take a look and maybe get some ideas for things to do with this eco-diesel motor that might help improve performance. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Which leads me into just a quick and brief review of our first leg of our trip. We are on Highway 410 outside of Enumclaw, Washington, on our way up through Chinook Pass over to Yakima on our first leg. And first thing I noticed is that here we are driving in the rain. Hopefully we'll get out of the rain for majority of the rest of our trip once we get over the Cascade Mountain Range. But on this road, it's obviously not the best road. It's an old highway, and they have ruts from all the semis that are driving on this over and over and over again. And so, as you guys are probably aware, when you get ruts developed, you get some water pooling up in them, and you have a tendency maybe for your vehicle and tires to try to hydroplane a little bit. We've not noticed that. These Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws are just plowing through without having any sliding, any hydroplaning whatsoever. These tires are amazing. This vehicle is amazing. We have the rough country 3.5-inch spacer lift. We did not do any modifications other than putting spacers and their N3 shocks on them. This thing rides nice. It's contouring to the road. It's not bumpy, so like when we hit a hole, you don't really feel it too much. We are riding the contours of the road though, so it will move us around a little bit more than something on probably road tires. But all in all, so far, we are really impressed. I'm very impressed with how this thing rides, and we'll be back with more videos about our trip, so stay tuned. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe if you haven't done so. Click that like button and make a comment. Tell us what you think about our videos and our content. You guys, make it a great day. One thing I wanted to make sure of is we're not just going to do all positives for this vehicle as well. So we do have a couple of negatives that we've discovered, and the first one from this trip so far, seatbelts in the rear. My mom is complaining that they lock up really bad. Here she is snickering in the background. The seatbelts actually lock up. So if you're a shorter, smaller person and we're driving, there's cup holders in the center console right behind the front driver's seats. If you're a little smaller, shorter, and that seatbelt locks up, you're going to have a hard time getting that cup out of there. So we're not sure why it locks up like it does, and we'll actually have to just play around with that and figure out why it's doing that. But there is so far one of the first negatives we found. Another thing that we're not super happy about is the climate control. We're trying to keep it at a steady temperature in here. Right now we have it set 67, and we have the defrost on. The defroster, defrost. And when we had it at 67, it felt like it was getting a little cool. I moved one of the temperature because we have dual zones in here. Driver and passenger. I bumped mine up to 68, and all of a sudden it started getting really hot. So 1 degree temperature change on our controls really makes a huge difference, and that's something I'm not a huge fan of. So again, that's something we're going to play around with to try to figure out how to get it set at a steady temperature where 1 degree of change doesn't make it super hot or super cold. So we'll be back in a later video to give an update to this to see if this is something that we can remedy or if it's something we're just going to have to deal with. So thanks a lot. This is where we slid down, right? It was really steep, so as with the Terry and Jeff.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
They must have been fantastic influences.
Jeff was great. Terry was not so much a good influence.
But he was a charmer.
He was one of those charmers.
Yay, here it is. Wenatchee National Forest.
National?
Shut up.
National.
Oh, look.
There's another one.
Oh,
Look at that view.
What a fantastic view. It's all...
Okay, so a lot of people think that these Gladiators and pretty much Jeeps in general are so loud inside, but I know we've done a little bit of video talking about the decibel levels before that may have been posted or may not yet. We actually did a decibel test in our little Nissan Rogue when we went out to go get that lighthouse you saw in a previous video. The decibel meter on that registered a high in the upper 70 decibels, maybe close to 80, and it was raining at that time. So here we are on I-82 outside of Yakima, headed towards Oregon on our way on our trip, and decided to install the decibel meter on my phone that's mounted inside here as we drive, so Becca could film the decibel levels for a little bit so you guys get an idea of what the ambient noise is at 60, 70, 75 miles per hour within close to the speed limit. So here we go. Becca's going to be in control of that, so I am not going to be a distracted driver touching my devices.
Good job.
So as you can see, it is a small snippet, pretty much only about a minute or so, a minute and a half video there showing where we were at, and actually our talking is pushing us up over 80. It says alarm clock, but pushing past the semis, we were only touching 78, 79 decibels, and it says washing machine on that. And to point out, we do not have the headliners in this vehicle as well, which may help reduce the noise a little bit further, but we can have a normal conversation in here without raising our voices. So to dispel some of the myth, it's actually not that loud in here compared to probably other vehicles. Obviously, when you get a car that has a headliner and everything, and it's going to dampen the sound quite a bit. Here we have the no liner on the rooftops, which again are removable too. So I think all in all, this is not a very loud vehicle. And again, not a knock on anything other than when I knock worked on the roof just now. So we absolutely love it, and again, the sound is great. So there you have it.
We made it.
Oregon.
Oregon. Welcome to Oregon. All right, that was fun.
Hey guys, here we are at Stanfield Rest Area in northeast Oregon. Decided once we crossed over into Oregon from Washington on the next leg of our trip that we'd pull in, take a quick rest stop. Mom's up there having a little cigarette, having a break, stretching. Here we are with our step stool to help her get in and out of the vehicle.
Oh, it's so cute.
We just wanted to check in and say hey and add this to our list of videos and sections of videos going forward. So we're having fun so far, getting great mileage on the vehicle, and she's driving well. So thanks for checking us out again. Had our first fill up of the trip from the Grande, Oregon. Enjoying the beautiful scenery as we drive along on our road trip.
It looks like we've almost found a clear sky. Yay! The guy at the gas station said the only thing more aerodynamic or less aerodynamic than a Jeep
It's a cow.
is a cow.